If you were not treating Mr. Jenkins as an expert witness, why did he need to be informed of duties that he owed to the court? Does a solicitor ever instruct a witness of fact? Isn't the reality of the position that you either didn't understand what the duties were in relation to the treatment of a person as an expert witness, or you simply didn't care enough to see what those duties were?
So we're going to jump back into Jarnail Singh's testimony at the Post Office inquiry, but first a little aside. Thank you for taking part in the community poll. The coming up section I've kind of added recently, just to try out new things. There's a range of opinions, so to try and bring them all together, what I've decided is to try and keep the coming up section very short and just really hint at what's coming rather than declaring any spoilers early on, a bit similar to my introductions to the videos. So let me know what you think of the changes. But now, I think it's fair to say that Jarnail Singh absolutely gets skewered by his own statements here, and Jason Casey is not impressed in the slightest. There's a lot of gesticulating towards his own witness statement, which contradicts then some of his assertions about memory problems now. And in response to the passive aggressiveness, the temperature certainly does get raised, as Jason Beer puts to him some very candid and cutting points. Let's jump into the inquiry.
Good morning, sir. Can you continue to see and hear us?
Yes, thank you, yes.
I'm pleased to say Mr. Singh has now got both a pen and
so thank you very much.
Paper.
Thank you.
Can we turn, please, to your witness statement at page 25, please? Paragraph 70.
70.
Fourth line. You're dealing here with the conference that you referred to earlier in October 2010. And you say in the fourth line, as far as I can recall, and then you corrected this to, I had more involvement with Mr. Jenkins. I cannot recall any discussions where he was informed of his duties to the court, although I would have assumed counsel would have informed him of the same. If you were not treating Mr. Jenkins as an expert witness, why did he need to be informed of duties that he owed to the court?
Well, it's such a long time ago. There's been a lot of papers which the inquiry has provided to me.
I think he's been a bit caught out there, because essentially what he's saying is, well, subconsciously at least, I kind of agree he was an expert, but it wasn't my job to brief him on his duties.
I honestly can't say that, but certainly as far as I was concerned, he was a normal witness who knew this particular system, which the court needed assistance with, and so did the prosecution and the defence. As to again, it's an assumption. I'm an assumption from reading the papers.
I think the main people who needed assistance with Horizon were surely the Post Office at this point.
I don't know the ins and outs. Don't forget, I've been out. I've not been out. I've been not doing prosecutions a long period of time. At that time, I would have known, because I attended a lot of courses. I had a lot of the papers with me, but at that particular moment in time, when I'm making this witness statement, is relying on a lot of information, and I'm trying to summarize or be as brief as possible. So I can't honestly answer you why I said what I did.
So your position, that can come down, thank you, is that you at no stage treated Mr. Jenkins as an expert witness, but the court did. Correct?
He was somebody who was there to help and assist, like any normal witness would do.
Can we look, please, at poll 3020489? Thank you. If we scroll to the middle email, thank you. A bit further down. A bit further up. That's it, thank you. Dealing with a different case here in 2012, September 2012, do you see? And you're engaged in a discussion about the choice of expert for it with Mr. Flemington, Mr. Bolk, Martin Smith and Harry Bower, yes?
Oh dear. This isn't looking great for him in terms of Gareth Jenkins and his status as an expert, is it?
Can you see that?
Yes, I think CC'd in by Andy Cash, I think.
Yes, the email is directly to Andy Cash.
Yeah, it's a discussion with him.
Yeah, so this is about a different case, it's 2 years on.
Yeah.
And you say in your email, thinking about choice of expert in this case, that's the Wiley case, okay? I have in the past instructed Gareth Jenkins of Fujitsu in the case of Misra, which incidentally was the only challenge on Horizon. He provided expertise in dealing with defence's boundless inquiry into the whole system. Perhaps we need to reconsider whether to instruct him, as he may be viewed too close to the system, but instruct somebody entirely independent. Your thoughts, please. You say there, I have in the past instructed Gareth Jenkins of Fujitsu in the Misra case. That's true, isn't it? You instructed Gareth Jenkins in the Misra case.
Well,
Is that true?
he was put forward. I mean, I didn't. Well, what instructions have I given him? That's the whole point.
That is the whole point, and it sounds like here you've been caught out by your own words, because your whole point is actually I didn't instruct him at all, and that's the exact problem, that as an expert witness, as an expert that you say there, you needed to give him those instructions and needed to ensure that the rules surrounding expert testimony were completed.
Gave instructions to our investigation officer. I didn't take any. I never instructed him as such.
Why did you say, if you had never instructed him, I have instructed him?
It's terminology, it's wording. Maybe it's clumsy wording, but I mean, when you're, this is a while back. This is going back. You're writing something out under pressure. Now, looking at it now, it was clumsy. It shouldn't have been. In the past, we have used as a witness or something like that, maybe something to word instructed in that sense. Is probably...
You agree that the language that you used is suggestive of you viewing Mr. Jenkins as an expert witness?
It's clumsy.
No, just focus on the question.
I mean, as a lawyer, you don't want your lawyer to be clumsy with wording, do you? Because that can be quite important.
You agree that the language that you used in this email is suggestive of you viewing Mr. Jenkins as an expert witness?
Yes. The meaning isn't in that sense that he's instructed as an expert.
Does a solicitor ever instruct a witness of fact?
No, but I mean...
Does a solicitor instruct an expert?
Yes.
You said you instructed Mr. Jenkins. Agreed?
I think maybe that's the wrong word.
Why did you use it?
Well, this is, 12th of September 12 at 15:36, and now we are 23.
That's true, so you might not be able to remember why you used that word, but the fact is at the time, at least, you felt you instructed him because you used the word instructed.
So I don't know. I mean, I can't put my hand on the heart and tell you one way or the other, but it's clumsy. It should...
Let's look at poll 303-1352. This is an email from you to Hugh Flemington and others, dated the 1st of July 2013, with the subject of discuss of defect in Horizon in court, Seema Misra and Lee Castleton. Yes?
Yes. Sorry, yes.
And then if we scroll down, please, paragraph 3, if that can be highlighted, you say in your email, we instructed our own expert, Gareth Jenkins from Fujitsu.
I mean, once would be an unfortunate mistake, clumsy wording, wouldn't it? But this is yet another email sent by Jarnail Singh, which actually says we instructed our own expert.
If you did not instruct Mr. Jenkins as an expert, why did you say we instructed Mr. Jenkins as an expert?
Clumsy. It shouldn't have been. It's wrong. I can't explain to you. I mean, he's years on. He was, the best I can put it to, he was expert, or he knew the system for Jitsu like no other person, and he was there to assist all parties, prosecution, defence, and the court.
Isn't the reality of the position that you either didn't understand what the duties were in relation to the treatment of a person as an expert witness, or you simply didn't care enough to see what those duties were and ensure that they were discharged, and that after the fact you've invented this idea that you were treating Mr. Jenkins as a witness of fact throughout and not an expert, to cover for the fact that you very well know that you complied with none of the duties that you owed to him?
None of what you said is true.
So why?
I don't agree with it.
Why have I been able to find 2 emails in which you have said, in black and white, that you instructed Mr. Jenkins as an expert, when you say that's exactly what you didn't do?
The reality is, I attended a lot of courses. At that particular...
That document can come down, by the way. So you were telling us about courses you attended.
Yep. I knew at that time what my responsibility and duties were. Mr. Jenkins, as I explained to you at that time, came in as somebody who knew the system very well, better than anybody else. And he could assist the prosecution, the defense, and the court. And that's what he did. And he didn't came in as an expert in anything apart from being an expert in the system itself. And so...
that explains what you now say. I'm asking you to explain why in these emails that I've just looked at, you say, I instructed Gareth Jenkins and we instructed our own expert, Gareth Jenkins, when you say that's precisely what you didn't do. I don't say it's just clumsiness.
It's clumsiness, laziness, you name it, but it's he... I think
why were you being lazy?
I think it's probably the day-to-day pressures. And I think the other thing is, like any good lawyer, is that you need to
use language precisely.
Well, maybe I should have been...
Is he trying to say there that he wasn't a good lawyer then?
More precise and concise. It's, maybe I'm probably being more informal because it's internal. But certainly he was not... If the witness statement, that's what is what I've signed up to, and that's what I did. And I can't even say why you asking me that when I got that witness statement here to that fact that he wasn't instructed as an expert from the beginning to the end, not by me, and that's the reason why a lot of the the statute, common law terms and conditions were not put in that way, because he didn't do any of that. All he did, he came and explained the Horizon system.
Well, one of the issues that I've got here with this is, even if we just use his own words at this point, what he's trying to say is, asking me these questions is very difficult because it's a very long time ago, but you need to believe exactly what I've put in my witness statement, which was only written a month before now. So equally, it was still a very long time ago, but that is absolutely the truth. Not the words that I've actually put into my own emails at the time whilst this was all going on, but the truth is actually what I am saying I can't remember now. Bizarre.
So you say that you've got a witness statement saying that he wasn't an expert. Is that your witness statement?
This is what I'm telling you. This is...
Well, just because you're saying it in a witness statement doesn't mean it's true, does it?
Why not? That's what I believe. That's what I signed up to.
Right. So because you... Okay, got it. So you're saying that because it's in the witness statement you're pointing to on the desk there, it can't be the case that you treated Mr. Jenkins as an expert?
No.
Aren't you just covering up the fact that you know that he was treated...
Why would I cover up? I mean, no, there's
because
no
you
reason.
know that you complied with none of the duties that you owed as a prosecutor. So you've rewritten history. You've said, I didn't treat him as an expert at all. He was a witness of fact throughout. Despite how you've described him in these 2 emails, and despite the fact you attended a conference with counsel with him and chatted through his evidence.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know where you get that we chatted through his evidence.
What did you do? Did you sit there in silence?
I have no recollection of what were... I mean, I don't know whether you... But there's a attendance note to that.
No, well, that's significant. We haven't had disclosed to us an attendance note of what happened at the October 2010 conference.
As I said to you, that when I left the post office, I didn't take any papers with me. So I can't tell you, I can't assist you any further.